A hot mic moment is making the rounds today. It aired last night on MSNBC, and it happened Tuesday after the president's address to military commanders. Pennsylvania Democratic Congresswoman Madeleine Dean confronted House Speaker Mike Johnson.
The president is unhinged. He is unwell. What are you doing? A lot of folks
on your side are too. I don't control.
Oh my God, please. That performance in front of the generals, that
I didn't see it.
is so dangerous. You know I serve on Foreign Affairs and Appropriations. This is a collision of those two things. Our allies are looking elsewhere. Our enemies are laughing.
I just left
you
the
have a president who is unwell.
This is some of what she was talking about and what the speaker claims not to have seen.
I'm a very aesthetic person, and I don't like some of the ships you're doing aesthetically. They say, oh, it's stealth. I said, that's not stealth. An ugly ship is not necessary in order to say you're stealth. I think we should maybe start thinking about battleships, by the way. I used to watch Victory at Sea. I love Victory at Sea. Look at these admirals. It's got to be your all-time favorite, in black and white. When I look at those ships, they came with the destroyers alongside of them, and man, nothing was going to stop. They were 20 deep, and they were in a straight line, and there was nothing going to stop them.
And Congresswoman Dean joins us now. Thanks for being with us. Can you just walk us through what led to that sort of exchange with Speaker Johnson?
I guess what led to it was a shutdown, a government shutdown that was so avoidable. It was me just saying in an honest conversation with him a couple of things. And I give him credit. He stood there and we had an exchange. We didn't agree on much of anything. But I told him how deeply concerned I am that the president is unhinged and unwell. And our allies are noticing it, and they're looking elsewhere for support. And our enemies are enjoying it, and they are emboldened by it. I also pleaded with him to lead. He has an extraordinary opportunity and responsibility to lead, and I respect that. But I think he's failing to lead when he is not telling the truth. I asked him to please tell the truth. This is no such thing as a clean CR. And I told him my constituents don't care what a CR is. They want the government to function. They don't want Band-Aid approach after Band-Aid approach. That is really, let's be very clear, this ineptitude in getting a full year's budget is really a disguise for getting people off health care, cutting them off, cutting people off SNAP and supplemental nutrition, hurting their pocketbooks. So I begged him to lead. I begged him to call out to the president the inappropriateness of the sombrero meme or tweet or whatever the heck it was. I said it was racist. And the speaker said, was it racist? He pretended to think he didn't know if that actually was racist.
You just called the president unwell again. What do you mean by that?
Well, he's aging, aren't we all? I think we can very much notice that. He's a different man than he was in his first term. He's slower, he's a little more lethargic. But much more important to me is what he is saying before the world. That meeting with the generals, number one, allowing the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, to call in more than 800 military leaders from around the globe was an extraordinarily dangerous, reckless, vain thing to do on both of their parts, pulling them out from the theaters where they are working and leading. And then to stand before them, rambling about how he walks on stairs, what wars he's solved, that he doesn't like the design of battleships. Does he want them to be gold or something? Just bizarre comments that meandered. I noted that one of the generals, I'm somebody who takes a lot of notes whenever I'm in some meetings, and apparently some of the generals were trying to take notes and they just abandoned their notes because it was incoherent and very dangerous, sending a message to other world leaders that what you thought was the United States as the indispensable nation, as Madeleine Albright used to talk about, maybe is very much less so. I am gravely worried for the leadership of the United States. I want this president to succeed, but it is clear to me that he is unwell. And I think the people around him have to recognize that and go to him and admit it to him.
Well, can I play you something that Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker said about that? Listen to this.
Certainly.
Oh, we don't have it. Let me read you what it said. He said it appears that Donald Trump not only has dementia set in, but that he's copying tactics from Vladimir Putin. He went on to say there's something genuinely wrong with this man, and the 25th Amendment ought to be invoked. What do you think about that?
I think he's recognizing some things I'm recognizing. I have not made the comparison to Putin, with the except that he likes utter authority. He doesn't want to be questioned by anybody. But I'm a former professor of writing, so I like coherent arguments that build on themselves. What we see with this president is anything but coherent. And sadly, what we see is utter incompetence that is around him. And then the final thing is what we see is the cruelty, how real people are being hurt. Let me tell you one other thing that I did say to the speaker. I urged him to lead. He has the opportunity to lead. It was a failure for him to have sent his members home. We Democrats, we're in full force all week down at the Capitol, ready to do our job. Following the meeting, finally, a meeting in the Oval Office with Republican Democratic leaders. But the speaker, because of the pressure of the president, sent all his people home. And I said to him, in effect, you walked into a shutdown. You wanted the shutdown.
Congresswoman Madeleine Dean from Pennsylvania, we do appreciate you being with us tonight. Thank you.